Hello ladies and gentlemen and those in between, welcome back to my channel, Everett here, and today we're going to talk about Why Love Why the series. First of all, I would like to thank these amazing people who hosted the finale party of Why Love Why the series for giving me a shout out, because after watching the final episode of this series, I watched their season finale party live stream on YouTube, and I also joined their live chat. And to my surprise, one of the hosts gave me a shout out and read my comment on the screen, and I was really touched by that. And here's the video.
Gusto ko itong favorites BL world. Sabi niya, Emil and Benjo, an underrated BL couple that shines as famous BL couple from Philippines. Hindi kayo yung tanaw. Yes, ilingay nun sa Kumbacolod. But from Iloilo, they call it Ilonggo. So, sa kay Prince BL World, madamong salamat sa ibong panamyaw. Yes, tamong salamat sa inyong matagal. Alright.
So, how do I feel about this series before I started watching it? Well, first off, I saw this picture posted up on Facebook where Emil and Benjo, the two main characters of the series, had morning wood. And I was like, are you serious? Morning wood in the first episode? Morning wood. Wood. Oh my goodness. What would happen in the second episode? French kiss? And what about in the third episode? Jack off? Goodness gracious! But on a serious note, I got really curious about how this series would turn out to be. And I was like, we've got another My Day the series in the making. And if you guys have already seen My Day the series has a lot of kissing scenes that are over the top. Like, Anyway, when I first saw the trailer of this series, it looked promising, so I gave this series a shot. Why Love Why the series is a story of two straight men named Benjo and Emil. They are assigned to be thesis partners by their professor. Emil, who is not financially capable to do online research, agrees to stay in Benjo's penthouse until Benjo finances everything needed to be paid for. When a couple who lives in the same building turns positive to COVID-19, the building is locked down for a month, giving Benjo and Emil the chance to get to know each other on a deeper level. Staying together makes them realize how important they are toward one another, and it causes them to fall in love with each other. Let's talk about the two main characters, Benjo and Emil. Benjo is played by John Ray Rivas, and he is a Filipino social media influencer who has earned popularity through the mobile application TikTok. With more than 142,000 followers on TikTok, John Ray Rivas is considered as one of the most popular TikTok stars in the Philippines. Additionally, John Ray is also popular on Instagram. With a humongous popularity on social media, John Ray Rivas has also collaborated with several commercials. In this series, Benjo is the son of a rich family, but he doesn't seem to be happy because he is all alone most of the time. And one day, he is assigned to do his thesis with his smart classmate, Emil, who is played by Carl Aderon. And just like John Ray, Carl is also a social media enthusiast and is pretty much active in TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. In this series, Emil is from a poor family, but is smart and dedicated student. So, both Benjo and Emil have to work on their thesis as partners. The storyline is a little bit different because, unlike other typical BL series, Benjo and Emil don't start out as enemies. Instead, they are on good terms, but both of them have their own girlfriends. Well, as usual, two straight guys with girlfriends who fall in love with each other. What a cliche. Anyway, I understand that there are some BL fans who stopped watching the series because, first off, let's admit it, there are unnecessary characters and irrelevant scenes, and above all, the fact that this series gets involved in politics is a major turnoff for other BL fans. Well, I also believe that there are some BL fans who take delight in this type of storyline, but honestly speaking, I'm not a political type person, so I must admit that the involvement of politics in this series just turns me off a little bit. I mean, let's admit it, sometimes storylines like this can be biased and it only shows one side of the coin, which is, I personally think, that is not fair, because as we know, there are always two sides of the story, and in order for us to balance things out, we need to see the different sides of the story, and through that we can actually make sound judgment. So that's why politics is not just for me. Anyway, Benjo and Emil are not as popular as the other Filipino BL couples like Xavier and Miko of Hello Stranger, Cairo and Gabrielle of Game Boys, Ace and Sky of Mighty the series, and Ben and Jim of Ben and Jim the series. But let's not deny and oversee the amazing chemistry between Benjo and Emil. Benjo and Emil are so natural. I'm just at a loss for words. You know that feeling when you want to fall in love with just seeing two people very sweet toward one another? This couple brings so much joy to a lonely heart, and I'm sure that those who love this couple will agree with me, because their chemistry actually gives me this Ace and Sky vibe of My Day the series. And to be honest, I feel bad for the two of them because they are so underrated, and I believe that they deserve so much more attention. Let's talk about two of my favorite supporting characters in this series, Edna, who is Emil's mother, and Kelly. Edna, who is Emil's mother, is played by the veteran actress Beverly, and she has been in the Philippine entertainment industry for decades. And I remember seeing her on television back when I was just in elementary school, and she is an amazing comedian and a great actress too. She is also an opera singer, and if you guys haven't noticed yet, I am an opera singer myself too. A woomba wop, a woomba wop, a woomba wop, a woomba wop. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Marmalade, lady, marmalade. Hey, hey, hey! Kidding aside, I love how Beverly plays her role as Emil's mother in this series, and the mere fact that she cares so much more about her children just like any other mothers do in this world is simply heart-moving. And additionally, she is such a comical relief in this series. Another character in this series who has captured my heart is Kelly, the transgender woman played by OJRC. And I did a little bit of research about her, but I found no useful information about her. I actually thought she was a gay pageant or a trans pageant enthusiast because she looks quite familiar, like I've already seen her in a YouTube video. But I'm not exactly sure about that. Anyway, I love her character in this series because she is one genuine friend who supports the relationship with Benjo and Emil, and I always stand someone who supports the LGBTQ plus community rights and advocacy. Likewise, how she represents the transgender community in this series is an eye-opener. Yes, many of our transgender sisters have a rough time dealing with judgmental people in our society, and they often wear two faces. And by two faces, I don't mean they're fake people, but by that I mean they often wear a big smile in front of other people, but deep inside they're struggling with many things, particularly finding someone to love. I love how the series promotes self-love, especially among transgender women. I'm not sure about how the case is in other countries, but in the Philippines, in most cases, trans women are abused financially by some straight men. Well, not everybody, but it just saddens me to think that there are straight men who get into a relationship with flamboyant gay guys or trans women for the sake of money. And it's pretty upsetting because apparently everyone wants to be loved not because of what others can get from them, but because of true love. As the famous song of the late Whitney Houston goes, learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Anyway, for this video, we will be talking about understanding the stigma faced by transgender women. Transgender people faced an incredible burden of discrimination in almost every aspect of their lives. Despite increased representation in media, discrimination against trans individuals is still prevalent. Transgender people report discrimination in every setting you can imagine. They are harassed or discriminated against at home, at school, at work, and even in doctors' offices. They also face an increased risk of suicide and depression. Some places where transgender people face stigma and discrimination include healthcare. People who are transgender often face challenges that make it difficult to access the healthcare services that they need to support physically and emotionally. They also experience disproportionate rates of various diseases. These burdens are even more intense for transgender people of color. Unfortunately, many people are not aware of transgender issues and the discrimination they face. Public accommodations. Transgender people are often targeted by discriminatory legislation. For example, while there has been a push for equal accommodation laws, many people are unfortunately deeply opposed to these laws. Access to services. Transgender women also face stigma and discrimination when accessing social services. For example, research suggests that only 30% of women's shelters in the United States of America are willing to accept and house trans women. Why Love, Why the series is one series that shows us that when it comes down to love, there's no such thing as social status. Regardless of whether two people are not the same financially capable, they both have the right to be in love. More often than not, some people set standards in terms of choosing someone to be in a relationship with, which is completely understandable because everyone just wants to be in a happy relationship. However, Why Love, Why series shows us that in a relationship between someone poor and someone rich is absolutely possible. In love, it's not about political power nor wealth that matters. Rather, love is all about acceptance, and as the old saying goes, love conquers all. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you like this video, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when my next video comes out. Peace outie! Well, first off, I saw this picture posted up on Facebook where Emil and Benjo. So, how do I feel about this? Series before I started watching it? Well, first off, I saw this.